Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm so excited you're here. I'd like to welcome our new subscribers and also thank those of you who are returning for this week's energy update. So let's jump right in. I have to tell you, I'm super excited. My research today provided me some details that I can't wait to share. So we did speak about the fact that there's going to be two full moons in the sign of Capricorn, one that occurred already earlier this month, and then one that's going to occur in July. That's rare. That's very rare. The reason for this is actually 15 months ago, back when the sun was in Aries, there were two new moons in the sign of Aries. The first one was on the 21st of March, and the second one was actually a solar eclipse, the very first one on the nodal axis cycle of North Node of Aries, South Node of Libra on the 20th of April. Because there were two new moons that occurred at that time, it threw off our lunar cycles. It reversed it, I should say. There is the cycle of a new moon and then followed by a full moon is very important so that when we get into the flow of energy, we can work with it. It's almost like we know what to expect because this leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. If those cycles get reversed, it can really take you out of your comfort zone. But being out of your comfort zone for an extended period of time was very good to help you lose defensive tactics or drop any defensive tactics or things that you put up to protect yourself. And when we're taken out of that comfort zone, we don't have confidence, or it's removed in various ways. It helps us get down to where we've been wounded so that we can heal it with any luck. That's the purpose here. I don't believe it's a coincidence that we will have with the new moon that's going to be this week, followed by a full moon. The new moon is in Cancer this week. The full moon at the end of the month is going to be in Capricorn. That is energy that started 6 months ago while the sun was in Capricorn. We're back in that regular cycle again. And it doesn't surprise me that also this week, in addition to Saturn last week, we will have Neptune going retrograde this week, joining Saturn, joining Pluto. So now it is no coincidence that we have our outer planets, some of them, Uranus is still direct, that retrograde cycle is beginning. So that we can assess situations. It's a review, revise cycle. We're going to step back and we're going to kind of go inward. Well, we are going to assess situations that occurred since January, when the planets we're all direct and all this energy is flowing forward and we're speeding faster, faster, faster. Now we can integrate some of the lessons that we have learned over the course of that time when time is just flying by and flying by and flying by. Things are going to slow down so that we can integrate that energy into our current level of consciousness. We've got a high level of consciousness, situations that have occurred asking us to pivot and change, heal, respond differently. And now we're integrating that during this retrograde cycle. So we're going to be more able to just let things go. They just simply aren't going to matter. I love that. We've worked through or will be working through unconscious issues. So just know as we enter this retrograde cycle, it's also for purpose. We're going to be integrating, certainly trust your responses. Now that lunar cycle is correcting, or the reversal cycle is over, it's not correction, it's all for purpose. But now that it's recalibrating, we too can recalibrate. I'm here to tell you it is okay to exhale. If you feel like you've just been dealing with one controversial subject after the other, this cropped up, I didn't even see it coming, for about 15 months, your emotions are on overdrive, it is okay to exhale. I just want to say that. we will have really until 2025. We've got these planets coming back online. I think Pluto's back online, going direct in October 11th. Saturn mid-November will be going direct, and then Neptune right after the 1st of December will be going direct. So we've got a period of time here where we've got a little bit of homework to do. Okay, I just wanted to circle back on that, share that with you so that you can use this retrograde energy to your advantage and really integrate some of these lessons we've learned. Again, typically there's reason why there's frustration or just feeling like things are out of sorts. They were for purpose, but it's time to get back on track. So let's talk about this week. So today, and actually it's starting to get stronger. It doesn't perfect until tomorrow. But we've got Mercury, which is in the sign of Cancer, is going to trine Neptune in Pisces. I love this energy. It's really good for imagination and creativity. Your intuition is on point too. So if you just know, you know. Okay. Then Mercury also, this is on Tuesday, Mercury is going to enter Leo. So it's going to make that trine to Neptune, and then it's going to move into Leo. I got to tell you, this is really wild. So the transition from Mercury in Cancer to Mercury in Leo it's pretty profound. It's bold, just proud ideas, very confident communications. You want to be heard, that's for sure, because you might just have found the biggest, the best, the strongest, the fastest, I don't care what it is, but you got to talk about it. And you found it. Yeah, you did. Be mindful, though, of being boastful or just over the top, bragging, braggarts. I personally like Leo energy, but I've seen it come in a couple different varieties. A dear friend of mine is a Leo, and she just is. When she walks in, she commands your attention, but she doesn't do it in an outward fashion. It's an inward, just knowing that confidence of who she is. She shines very bright. Then I've also seen the actor, I'll say, the person who has to take center stage, has to command the room, outwardly so, and it's almost like they have to try really hard to do that. It's just not natural. So use that thought when you're discussing Mercury and communications and actions, your mental process. I say be mindful because Mercury is going to go into Leo, and then very quickly it's going to oppose Pluto. So your authenticity is going to be up for grabs. So if you find yourself getting into a real boastful place, just be mindful of that, okay? On this day, also, the Sun in Cancer is going to square the nodes. And this is all about putting your own needs or emotions on the back burner while putting others first. Does your loyalty to other people or places or things, tangible objects, prohibit your ability to grow and thrive? Good question to think about on this day. We also are going to get help with this because we've got Venus is going to trine Saturn. That energy helps us sort through those feelings or the emotions of loyalty. Who we need to be loyal to. What is that loyalty based on? And if you've been in a long-term relationship, this is such good energy. It's really good couples energy. So you can really lean into that trine energy. I like that. Then on Wednesday of this week, which is the 3rd already, we will have Mercury, which is in the sign of Leo, opposing Pluto. We talked about this. Pluto's retrograde in Aquarius, wants authenticity. Bold communications are met with resistance, just absolute resistance. You may be very confident about something and you want to express it, but then it's met with resistance for the purpose of power and control. Is somebody trying to squash you? Are you trying to squash somebody through verbal communications, written communications, mind processes? Use this energy to better understand yourself. That's for sure. I like it. Where do you give away your power? Or do you see others trying to take your power through communications? Also, I have to share this, as Grandma would say, if you don't have something nice to say, it might be better to just not say it at all, okay? We have a new moon on Friday that we spoke about earlier, new moon in Cancer. Love this lunation. It is ruled by the moon in its own domicile. Love it. And we've got Venus is not within orb of this new moon, but it's certainly still in the sign of Cancer. So there's that Venusian energy here. And oh, I just love that. It's such a good vibe. Get in touch with your feelings. That's what we're being asked to do here. That trine to Saturn and Pisces surely provides that chill vibe. I mean, I just love this lunation. It just feels like home to me, which is a very much of a Cancer theme. And my North Node is actually sitting at the degree that this new moon is going to shine, and I'm super excited about that. I could use some downtime, that's for sure. It's also conjunct the fixed star Sirius, and Sirius is the dog star, the brightest star in the sky. It speaks about prosperity and wealth or honors from family and close friends. At the same time, we have Mars in Taurus is going to sextile Saturn in Pisces. So if you do need to make changes, if you do need to take action on something, it's really easy to do. We can step up, we see where our responsibility lies, we understand it very clearly, and we can take action, especially if it ensures our long-term stability. Now, on that same day, but later or very early on the 6th, depending on where you live on the planet, Venus in Cancer is going to square Chiron in Aries. This is triggering, very triggering, but it's retreating due to wounding because Chiron is in Aries, wounding from not being seen, having to substantiate your existence. You have a choice here. This is a square. It's a choice point. You get to decide where you want your energy to flow and to go. Self-care. Whenever you're talking about Chiron and Venus, I'm going to say self-care is the option that I would pick on this day. Well, that's all I have for you this week. I know we were going to go long because I did want to discuss the flow change. So let's, we had a card pop out, decided to use the Light Zeros Tarot deck. And the card that popped out was the Seven of Cups. And I have to tell you, this sounds an awful lot like our Neptune retrograde cycle. Oh, did we talk about that? We didn't talk about Neptune going, oh my goodness, we better talk about Neptune going retrograde. I can't believe I missed that. So on the 2nd of this week, we've got Neptune is going to go retrograde in the sign of Pisces and join Saturn in that motion. So Neptune going retrograde is like a flow, an ebb and a flow that was going to an area that all of a sudden recedes. And what's left is the non-illusionary pieces. So it's exposing things that you didn't know were occurring beneath the surface. So that's Neptune retrograde. Okay, now let's talk more about the card that jumped out, Seven of Cups. So let's see what the book has to say. When you daydream your way into the future, the options that you have in front of you can feel both under and overwhelming. The path from A to Z is often nebulous, and life can present itself like a game of chutes and ladders that brings you down only to lift you up. Your desire to choose the one correct and perfect path can further complicate and muddle your decisions because there is no way to know everything that will spill forth from the cup you choose. Use your intuition to decide, remembering that the temptation of shiny things can be illusory. While challenging paths will often hold unexpected opportunity. Ask your discerning heart what options honestly stand in front of you today, and even if things are not exactly as they seem, choosing that which you truly desire will offer the most useful stepping stone right now. And the mantra that goes along with this card, my wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. Let's repeat that. My wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you did like this video, click the like button. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. Any comments or questions, post them in the comment section below. You know, I always like to hear from you. And if you want to co-create with me, do share this video with others. I hope you have a fabulous week of this new moon in Cancer. Being dreamy, chill, knowing that it's going to reset this lunar cycles and allow us to get back into the flow. Have a great week. Namaste.